Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on NET Paper 1 Unit 9 Part 2. Since it is the longest unit in the entire syllabus, we are splitting this Unit 9 into two parts. Part 1 we are already given. Part 2 we are starting with noise pollution. Let us straight away enter into the topic. Dear friends, environmental issues, noise pollution. Definition of what is the definition of noise pollution? Noise pollution refers to excessive, unwanted or disruptive sound that negatively affects the natural acoustic environment, human health and overall well-being. It is a growing environmental issue with serious implications for humans and wildfire. What are the causes of noise pollution? Urbanization and population growth. Expansion of cities and densely populated areas leads to increased transportation, industrial activities and construction. Transportation noise, road traffic, air traffic and railways contribute significantly to urban noise pollution. Then industrial activities, factories, mining and other industrial operations generate high noise levels through machinery and equipment. Then construction activities. Building and infrastructure projects involve heavy machinery, drilling and hammering which disturb nearby areas. Recreational noise, loud music, concerts, festivals, personal activities like home improvements can contribute to noise pollution. What are the consequences of noise pollution? Health effects, hearing loss, sleep disturbances, increased stress levels, cardiovascular problems, reduced cognitive performance, brain functions and productivity in life. Impact on wildfire, disruption in communication and natural behaviors, difficulty in finding mates or prey, then population declines. Economic impact, reduced property values, increased healthcare costs due to noise related health issues. What about social disruption, conflicts among neighbors, decline in community well-being. What is the environmental impact? That is habitat degradation. Disruption of marine ecosystem, that is in the ocean due to underwater noise from shipping and drilling. What are the solutions to noise pollution? Regulations and legislation. Governments can enforce noise limits and impose penalties for non-compliance. Urban planning, incorporating green spaces, using noise barriers and acoustic zoning. Noise reducing technology, quieter machinery, soundproofing construction techniques. Public awareness and education, promoting responsible noise behavior and raising awareness about the effects of noise pollution. Noise reducing building design, acoustic insulation, double glazed windows, all these help in reducing noise in the buildings. Now let us ask some question. Which of the following is the primary source of outdoor noise pollution? Industrial activities. Noise pollution is measured in units of decibels. Decibels. Which type of noise pollution is common in urban areas due to traffic and human activities? That is transportation noise. What is the recommended noise level for a peaceful indoor environment in decibels? That is 30 to 35 decibels. Which regulatory body is responsible for setting noise pollution standards in the United States? That is EPA, Environmental Protection Agency in America. Now let us talk about the environmental consequences of improper waste management. Pollution, open burning and improper disposal lead to air, water and soil pollution, affecting health and ecosystems. Habitat destruction. Wildfire is harmed through ingestion or entanglement in waste. Landfills encroach on habitats. Greenhouse gas emissions. Landfills emit methane, contributing to climate change. Soil degradation. Toxic substances from waste contaminate soil, making it infertile. Ocean plastic pollution. Mismanaged plastic waste harms marine life and ecosystems. What are the solutions for effective waste management? Reduce, reuse, recycle. Effective waste management minimizes waste generation, reuse materials, and promote recycling. Waste segregation and collection, streamlined sorting and organized collection to facilitate recycling. Waste to energy and biomethanization, that is convert waste into energy, reducing landfill reliance and emissions. Landfill management, improve landfill designs to minimize methane emissions and rehabilitate degraded sites. Public awareness, educate communities on waste management's importance and encourage participation in initiatives. Which of the following is a major source of marine pollution? Plastic waste. Plastic waste contributes significantly marine pollution, harming aquatic ecosystems. Which type of waste is most suitable for composting? That is organic waste. Organic waste like food scraps, food pieces, decomposes naturally to enrich soil. What is the primary goal of the 3 R's principles in waste management? Among the 4, which is the right one? Reduce, reuse, recycle. This principle focuses on minimizing waste through sustainable practices. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Which type of waste poses a significant health risk due to its potential for disease transmission? Biomedical waste. Biomedical waste includes infectious materials that threaten public health. What is the environmental impact of improper electronic waste, e-waste disposal? That is, all the above, like soil contamination, oil pollution, then water pollution, all of the above. E-waste releases toxic substances harming air, water and soil. Which strategy involves reducing waste at its source by designing products that are easy to repair, reuse or recycle? Among the 4, which is the right one? That is extended producer responsibility. EPR encourages producers to minimize their products' environmental impact. What is the main concern with the landfills? That is leachate contamination. Toxic leachate from landfills contaminate soil and groundwater. Which greenhouse gas is emitted during organic waste decomposition in landfills? That is methane. Methane is released in anaerobic conditions, contributing to climate change. Which type of waste is non-biodegradable? That is glass waste. Glass waste does not decompose naturally, persisting in the environment. What is the primary concern associated with the nuclear waste disposal? That is a radioactive contamination. Improper disposal can lead to severe health and environmental risk. Which international agreement controls hazardous waste transboundary movement? That is Basel Convention. The Basel Convention regulates hazardous waste movement and disposal. What is the term for reusing items creatively instead of discarding them? That is upcycling. Upcycling extends an item's life by repurposing it creatively. What is the primary environmental concern related to improper pharmaceutical waste disposal? That is medicine, tablets, etc. Water pollution. Primary environmental concern will be water pollution. Pharmaceuticals can contaminate water sources, affecting ecosystems. Which of the following materials used in food packaging poses significant environmental threats? That is single-use plastic. Single-use plastics contribute to persistent pollution. What is the benefit of waste-to-energy technologies? Minimizing fossil fuel reliance. These technologies convert waste into energy, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Now let us talk about environmental issues, climate change and its impacts. Climate change refers to long-term alterations in temperature, precipitation and other weather patterns on Earth. The Earth's climate system is complex, involving interconnected components like the atmosphere, oceans, land and ice. Manifestations include global warming, altered precipitation, severe weather events and rising sea levels. What is the human influence on climate change? While natural factors have historically influenced the climate, human activities are now the dominant drivers. These include burning fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial processes, and agricultural practices. Such activities release greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, which trap heat and cause the greenhouse effect. Let us talk about global warming. Global warming is a key consequence of climate change marked by a rise in global temperatures. Since the late 19th century, the Earth's average surface temperature has increased by about 1.2 degrees Celsius, causing significant impacts on ecosystems and human societies. What are the impacts of climate change? Melting ice and rising sea levels, polar ice cap and glacier melting contribute to sea level rise, threatening coastal communities. Extreme weather events, increased frequency and severity of hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires disrupt ecosystems and economies. Ocean acidification, absorption of excess CO2, carbon dioxide, lowers the ocean pH, health of the ocean, harming coral reefs and marine life. Biodiversity loss. Many species face extinction due to habitat shifts and rising temperatures. Food and water security. Altered growing seasons and reduced freshwater availability threaten global food systems. Mitigation and adaptation. Efforts to reduce GHG emissions include renewable energy, energy efficiency, and reforestation. Adaptation. Strategies such as sustainable agriculture and coastal protection address ongoing climate impacts. Then there should be global cooperation. International agreements like the Paris Agreement aim to limit global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius. Collaborative efforts are essential to address climate change effectively. What is the primary greenhouse gas responsible for climate change? That is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the most significant gas primarily emitted from fossil fuel combustion, that is burning, and deforestation. What is the main human activity contributing to increased CO2 levels? That is burning fossil fuels. Industrial and transportation emissions are the largest sources of carbon dioxide, CO2. Which region experiences the fastest glacial melting? That is Arctic. Arctic faces rapid temperature increases, accelerating ice melt. What is the major consequence of ocean acidifications? That is harm to coral reefs. Lower pH levels, that is health levels, reduce the ability of marine organisms to form shells and skeletons. What is the most significant source of methane emissions? Agricultural activities. Livestock farming and rice cultivation release methane, a potent GHG. Which international treaty addresses climate change? That is Paris Agreement. The agreement sets targets for reducing GHG emissions globally. What is the consequence of deforestation? That is elevated CO2 levels. Trees absorb CO2, cutting them reduces carbon sequestration, that is separation. How does climate change affect extreme weather events? Increased intensity and frequency. Warmer temperatures fuel stronger hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves. What is the key strategy to reduce energy sector emissions? That is promoting energy efficiency. Efficiency improvements lower energy consumption and GHG emissions. That is greenhouse gas emissions. That is GHG. What is the term for ocean pH decline caused by CO2? pH means that is the wealth, the health of the ocean species. Ocean acidification. CO2 absorption reduces pH, affecting marine ecosystems. Which region is most vulnerable to climate change impacts? Arctic. Rapid warming disrupts ecosystems and indigenous communities. What is the main driver of deforestation? Conversion to agricultural land. That is the main driver of deforestation. Expanding agriculture leads to significant tree loss. Which renewable energy source is effective in reducing GHG emissions? That is solar energy. Solar energy generates electricity without emitting greenhouse gases. What natural process helps sequester CO2? Photosynthesis. Plants absorb CO2, converting it into oxygen and biomass. Now let us talk about environmental issues, socio-economic and political dimensions. Environmental issues have garnered significant attention due to the socio-economic and political implications. These challenges such as climate change, deforestation, pollution and loss of biodiversity not only impact the environment but also affect societies, economies and politics. What are the socio-economic dimensions regarding this? Public health and environmental pollution. Environmental pollution, including air, water and soil pollution, poses serious health threats leading to respiratory diseases and cancers. Vulnerable communities with limited healthcare access are disproportionately affected, creating a cycle of poverty and ill health that strains the healthcare systems and hinders socio-economic development. Agriculture and food security, climate change, soil degradation, water scarcity directly impact agriculture, disrupting crop cycles and threatening food security. Rural communities dependent on agriculture face economic difficulties, exacerbating poverty and social inequalities. Natural resource depletion and economic growth. Over-exploitation of natural resources for economic growth can lead to resource depletion, affecting industries and trade and causing economic imbalances, unemployment and regional disparities. Urbanization and environmental degradation. Rapid urbanization often leads to habitat destruction, increased waste generation and energy consumption. Poor urban planning increases environmental issues, creating unsustainable living conditions, especially for low-income communities. Political dimensions. Policy and regulatory frameworks. Governments play a key role in formulating and enforcing policies to address environmental challenges. Effective policies rely on political will, stakeholder engagement, and proper enforcement mechanisms. International cooperation and agreement regarding environmental issues. Environmental problems that transcend national borders, requiring international collaboration. Global agreements like the Paris Agreement on Climate Change highlight the need for collective action. Environmental justice and equity. Political decisions must ensure that marginalized communities are not disproportionately impacted by environmental degradation. Environmental justice involves addressing socio-economic disparities and promoting inclusive decision making. Public awareness and civic engagement. Governments must foster public awareness and encourage civic engagement. Education and advocacy empower citizens to adopt sustainable practices and hold authorities accountable for environmental policies. What could we say as concluding remarks? Addressing environmental issues requires an integrated approach that considers both socio-economic and political factors. Developing sustainable policies that prioritize public health, resource equity, and environmental justice is essential for a sustainable future. How does loss of biodiversity impact economies? Biodiversity loss disrupts ecosystems that provide essential services like pollination, water purification, and climate regulation. This can lead to reduced agricultural productivity and economic losses. How do socio-economic disparities affect access to environmental resources? Wealthier communities have better access to clean air, water, and land, while marginalized communities face greater environmental risk. This leads to greater socio-economic disparities. What are the political implications of environmental justice? Environmental justice involves ensuring that marginalized communities are not disproportionately affected by environmental degradation. It requires the equitable distribution of environmental benefits and burdens impacting policies and governance. Why are international agreements essential in addressing global environmental issues? Environmental challenges like climate change and pollution cross national borders, requiring global cooperation. International agreements like the Paris Agreement demonstrate the need for joint action to address these global threats. How can public awareness and civic engagement help address environmental issues. Educating the public and fostering civic engagement empowers citizens to adopt sustainable practices and hold authorities accountable for environmental policies, creating a more environmentally conscious society. What role do political leaders play in formulating environmental policies? Political leaders are crucial in creating and enforcing environmental policies. Their decisions based on political will and stakeholder input can drive meaningful change in environmental management. How do environmental issues intersect with political structures and policies? Environmental issues often reflect underlying political structures as decisions on environmental regulations, resource management, and environmental justice are shaped by political agendas and interests. What is the significance of green politics in modern governance? Green politics advocates for sustainability, conservation, and eco-friendly policies. Environmental movements have gained political influence in some countries, shaping national policies and agendas towards sustainable development. Now let us talk about solar energy, a promising natural resource for a sustainable future. Solar energy derived from the sun's radiant light and heat is one of the most abundant and sustainable resources available on Earth. It offers enormous potential to meet global energy demands while addressing environmental issues related to fossil fuel based energy. Solar energy, a clean renewable resource. Solar energy is considered both clean and renewable because it generates electricity without emitting harmful greenhouse gases or pollutants. The sun is virtually inexhaustible, providing about 173,000 terawatts of energy continuously, far exceeding the world's energy needs. Environmental benefits. Using solar energy reduces carbon dioxide emissions, air pollution, and environmental degradation. Unlike fossil fuels, solar power does not release pollutants like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, or particulate matter, improving air quality and public health. Technological advancement in solar energy. Technological advancement have increased the efficiency, affordability, and accessibility of solar energy. Photovoltaic technology, that is PV, has progressed significantly with the solar cells becoming more efficient and cost effective. Photovoltaic technology. Research has led to the development of thinner, lighter, and more flexible solar panels which can be integrated into various building materials like windows, roofs, and facades. Solar energy storage. One challenge of solar energy is its intermittent, continuous nature due to varying sunlight. Energy storage technologies like batteries allow for the storage of excess energy generated during the day for future use. Solar power and economic benefits. The solar industry has created millions of jobs worldwide, contributing to economic growth and energy independence. Solar power reduces reliance on imported fossil fuels and stabilizes energy prices. What are the government incentives and policies regarding solar energy? Many governments have implemented policies such as tax credits, subsidies, and renewable portfolio standards to encourage solar energy adoption. These measures make solar energy more financially viable for both individuals and businesses. Future prospects and challenges. The future of solar energy looks promising with ongoing improvements in solar panel efficiency, energy storage, and grid integration. Challenges such as the environmental impact of solar panel protection and the need for better energy storage solutions must be addressed. Solar energy is crucial in the global transmission to clean, sustainable energy. Its potential to meet energy demands and reduce environmental harm is immense, and continued technological advances, supportive policies, and public awareness will help maximize its benefits. What is solar energy and how is it harnessed? Some questions let us discuss. Solar energy is derived from the sun's radiant heat and light. It is harnessed using technology like photovoltaic cells that convert the sunlight directly into electricity. Why is solar energy considered a clean and renewable resource? Solar energy is clean because it does not produce harmful emissions, and it is a renewable because the sun's energy is inexhaustible and available every day. What are the environmental benefits of solar energy? Solar energy reduces carbon dioxide emissions, air pollution, and environmental degradation, helping to improve overall air quality and mitigate climate change. How do photovoltaic cells work? This PV photovoltaic cells convert the sunlight directly into electricity through a process called photovoltaic effect, where sunlight knocks the electrons loose from atoms, generating an electric current. What role does energy storage play in solar power? Energy storage through batteries helps store excess energy generated during the day, making it available when sunlight is not present, thus ensuring a constant power supply. What are the future prospects of solar energy? The future of solar energy is promising with ongoing improvements in solar panel technology, energy storage solutions, and grid integration, leading to greater efficiency and broader adoption. Why is solar energy crucial for a sustainable future? Solar energy is essential for reducing reliance on fossil fuels, mitigating climate change, and ensuring a sustainable, clean energy future that can meet the world's growing energy needs. How does solar energy reduce reliance on fossil fuels? Solar energy provides an alternative to fossil fuels by offering a clean, renewable source of power that can reduce the need for coal, oil, and gas, helping to achieve energy independence. Let us talk about wind energy, environmental benefits of wind energy. Wind energy is a key component of sustainable energy systems due to its environmental advantages. It is a clean energy source that produces no harmful emissions during operation, thereby reducing air pollution and mitigating climate change. Additionally, wind energy helps reduce dependence on fossil fuels, enhancing energy security. Wind farms also use land that can be utilized for agriculture, supporting dual land use and reducing land use conflicts. While wind energy has a long history and it is a promising natural resource that plays an essential role in addressing global energy and environmental issues. With modern technology improving efficiency and addressing challenges, wind power is expected to significantly contribute to a greener, more sustainable future. Which region experiences higher wind speeds, making it ideal for wind power generation? That is coastal areas. Coastal regions experience consistent higher wind speeds due to temperature and pressure differences between land and sea. What is the main environmental benefit of wind energy? That is reducing air pollution. Wind energy is clean and does not emit pollutants or greenhouse gases, reducing air pollution. Which part of a wind turbine converts wind energy into mechanical energy? That is called rotor blades. The rotor blades capture wind energy and convert it into mechanical energy, starting with the turbine's rotation. What is the typical lifespan of well-maintained wind turbine? That is, wind turbine generally lasts for about 20 to 25 years before requiring significant maintenance or replacement. Where is the largest wind farm in the world located as of latest data? That is China. China hosts the largest wind farm in the world, reflecting its significant investment in wind energy. What is the primary source of energy harnessed from wind? That is kinetic energy. Wind energy is primarily harnessed from the kinetic energy of moving air masses. What is the unit of measurement for wind speed? That is miles per hour. Wind speed is typically measured in miles per hour or meters per second. What is the minimum wind speed required for a typical wind turbine to generate electricity? That is called cut-in speed. The cut-in speed is the minimum wind speed at which a wind turbine begins to produce electricity. Let us talk about the types of soil. Soils are categorized into types based on their properties. The main soil types are sandy soil. This soil has a high proportion of sand particles, making it well drained but less fertile due to low nutrient content. Silt soil. Silt soil has more silt particles and finer texture compared to sandy soil, offering better fertility. Clay soil, rich in clay particles. This soil is fine textured and retains water and nutrients well, but can become compacted and poorly aerated. Loamy soil, a balanced mixture of sand, silt and clay. Loamy soil retains water, offers good aeration and is fertile. What are the functions of soil? Soil serves several vital functions for life and the environment, like plant growth medium. It provides a substrate for plant roots to anchor and obtain water and nutrients. Nutrient cycling. Soil acts as a reservoir, cycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Water filtration and storage. Soil filters water and stores it, regulating plant availability and preventing erosion. Habitat for organisms. Soil supports biodiversity by providing a habitat for microorganisms and larger organisms. Carbon storage. Soil helps mitigate climate change by storing carbon, acting as a carbon sink. Let us talk about the importance of sustainable soil management. Sustainable practices like crop rotation, organic farming, and soil conservation are essential to avoid soil degradation, erosion, and fertility loss. Soil and the energy sector. Biomass energy. Soil supports plants like corn and sugarcane, which are used to produce biofuels like ethanol and biodiesel. Geothermal energy. Soil acts as an insulating layer, trapping heat beneath the earth's surface, which can be harnessed for energy. What is the primary component of soil? That is organic matter. Organic matter is critical for soil structure, providing nutrients and supporting plant growth. What is the primary function of humus in soil? That is enhancing water retention. Humus, I think that is how we have to pronounce, I hope so. Humus increases the soil's ability to retain water, essential for plant growth. Which soil type is well draining and suitable for farming? That is sandy soil. Sandy soil has good drainage properties, making it ideal for farming. What is the primary function of topsoil in soil profiles? Nutrient storage. Topsoil is rich in nutrients essential for plant growth. Which process involves the movement of soil particles from one place to another? That is erosion. Erosion involves the movement of soil particles through wind, water and other natural forces. What is the primary source of energy in the soil ecosystem? That is sunlight. Sunlight is the primary external energy source driving soil ecosystems. Which soil conservation practice involves planting different crops in alternating rows or bands? That is called crop rotation. Crop rotation prevents soil depletion and maintains soil fertility. What is the primary role of soil microorganisms in the soil ecosystem? That is decomposing organic matter. Microorganism breaks down into organic matter, recycling nutrients and improving soil quality. What term describes the gradual conversion of fertile land into desert-like conditions due to soil degradation? That is desertification. Desertification occurs when fertile land becomes a desert-like due to overuse or poor land management. I hope you understand this. Which essential nutrient found in soil is a primary component for plant growth and is commonly applied as fertilizers? That is nitrogen. Nitrogen is crucial for plant growth and is often added to soil as a fertilizer. Which soil component is responsible for retaining and supplying nutrients to plants? That is clay. Clay has a high surface area that helps retain and supply nutrients to plants. Which energy resource harnesses the heat from within the Earth's crust, that is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy uses heat from beneath the Earth's surface to generate energy. Let us talk about hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power or hydropower is a renewable energy source that has been in use for centuries. It generates electricity by converting the potential energy stored in water into electrical energy. History of hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power dates back to ancient times when water wheels were used for mechanical tasks like grinding grain. It became a significant electricity source in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The first large-scale hydroelectric plant was constructed at Niagara Falls, USA in 1882, setting the foundation for hydroelectric power generation worldwide. Now let us talk about the environmental impacts of hydroelectric power. While hydropower is a clean energy source, it has environmental effects. Habitat disruption. Dams and reservoirs can disrupt the ecosystems. Methane emissions. Decomposing organic matter in reservoirs releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Water quality and temperature changes. Water released from reservoirs can change downstream conditions affecting aquatic life. Sedimentation. Dams trap sediment, disrupting riverbeds and ecosystems. What are the benefits of hydroelectric power? That is renewable and clean. No air pollutants are released during operation. Reliable power generation. It provides a consistent electricity, stabilizing the grid. Storage capacity. Reservoirs store water for flexibility in energy demand. Economic growth. Hydro projects create jobs and boost regional economies. What is the primary energy source in hydroelectric power generation? That is kinetic energy of water. Hydroelectric power harnesses the kinetic energy of flowing water to spin turbines and generate electricity. What type of water body is used for constructing large-scale hydroelectric dams? That is river. Rivers are ideal for constructing large-scale hydroelectric dams as they provide a continuous flow of water. What is a major environmental impact of large-scale hydroelectric projects? That is deforestation. Construction of dams often requires clearing vast land areas, leading to deforestation and ecosystem disruption. Which component of hydroelectric plant converts water's kinetic energy into mechanical energy? That is turbine. Turbines are responsible for converting the kinetic energy of water into mechanical energy to generate electricity. Which renewable energy source indirectly supports hydroelectric power generation? That is solar energy. Solar energy drives the water cycle, which provides the water needed for hydroelectric power. Which country generates a significant portion of its electricity from hydroelectric power? That is Iceland. Iceland utilizes its abundant water resources for hydroelectric power generation. What is the primary advantage of hydroelectric power over fossil fuels? That is lower carbon emissions. Hydroelectric power produces minimal carbon emissions, making it cleaner than fossil fuels. Which type of hydroelectric power plant uses a river's natural flow for generation without a dam? That is runoff river. Runoff river plants utilize the river's natural flow for power generation, eliminating the need for large reservoirs. Let us talk about geothermal energy. What is that? As the world faces climate change and the need for sustainable energy, geothermal energy has emerged as a promising solution. Geothermal energy harnesses the Earth's natural heat to produce electricity and heat for various applications. Geothermal energy offers numerous advantages such as minimal environmental impact and its potential to meet a significant portion of our energy needs. What are the sources of geothermal energy? Geothermal energy comes from heat deep within the earth, primarily generated by radioactive decay and the original heat from the planet formation. This heat escapes to the surface through volcanic activity, hot springs, and geysers. There are three main sources. Volcanic activity. Geothermal resources are abundant in volcanic regions along tectonic plate boundaries with high underground temperatures and magma. Hot springs and geysers. These are visible surface manifestations of geothermal energy that have been used for centuries. Enhanced geothermal system (EGS) in areas without natural geothermal resources. EGS technology creates artificial geothermal reservoirs by drilling deep wells into hot rock formations and injecting water. Utilization of geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is primarily used for electricity generation and direct use applications. Then electricity generation. Geothermal power plants use the Rankine or organic Rankine cycle to convert heat into electricity. Common types of plants include dry steam and flash steam plants, which use high pressure steam or depressurized hot water to generate electricity. What are the environmental benefits of geothermal power? That is, geothermal energy offers significant environmental advantages. Low carbon emissions. It produces low levels of greenhouse gases, contributing to reducing global warming. Then it gives minimal air pollution. Unlike fossil fuels, geothermal power plants do not emit harmful air pollutants, improving air quality. Then consistent and reliable. Geothermal energy is consistent and reliable. Geothermal energy is a reliable, consistent power source unaffected by weather fluctuations or daylight hours. Then sustainable resource. As the heat extracted is replenished by natural processes, geothermal energy is a sustainable long-term resource. What are the challenges here? Location dependence. Location dependence. Geothermal resources are geographically limited, often found in remote or ecologically sensitive areas. High initial cost. Developing geothermal power plants involves significant upfront cost, but the long-term sustainability offsets this cost. Resources sustainability. Overexploitation of geothermal reservoirs can deplete the temperature and reduce efficiency. Geological risk. Geothermal exploration poses risk, including the possibility of encountering unforeseen geological formations or seismic activity like earthquakes, etc. Geothermal energy is a global resource with a potential to play a significant role in the transition to sustainable energy. Countries like Iceland and New Zealand already use geothermal for a substantial portion of their energy needs, while the United States, particularly the western states, has untapped geothermal potential. So, geothermal energy is a clean, reliable and sustainable resource that can help meet growing energy demands while addressing climate change. Its environmental benefits and long-term sustainability make it a valuable part of a diversified energy portfolio. Which layer of the earth is primarily responsible for geothermal energy? Mantle. Geothermal energy is derived from the heat stored within the earth's mantle. What is the main source of heat for geothermal energy? Radioactive decay. The primary source of heat for geothermal energy is the radioactive decay or isotopes in the earth's mantle and crust. What is the primary environmental advantage of geothermal energy compared to fossil fuels? Low greenhouse gas emissions. Geothermal energy has a low carbon footprint, making it environmentally friendly compared to fossil fuels. Which country is the largest producer of geothermal energy? United States. United States is the largest global producer of geothermal energy. What is the average temperature gradient of the Earth's crust? That is 15 degrees Celsius per kilometer. The average temperature gradient is about 15 degrees Celsius per kilometer, providing the necessary heat for geothermal energy. Which geological feature is essential for harnessing geothermal energy? Volcanoes. Geothermal resources are most accessible near volcanic regions due to proximity to molten magma. What is the typical temperature range of geothermal reservoirs used for power generation? That is 100 to 200 degrees Celsius. The optimal temperature for geothermal power generation is around 100 to 200 centigrades or Celsius. Geothermal energy is considered renewable because it replenishes itself over time. It is produced itself, replenishes itself over time. Geothermal energy is renewable as the Earth's internal heat is continuously replenished by natural geological processes. Biomass as a renewable energy source. Biomass derived from organic materials encompasses a wide range of biological resources that can be converted into energy. It is an important renewable energy source that holds a significant potential for addressing the world's growing energy needs while mitigating environmental challenges. What are the types of biomass? Biomass can be classified into various types, each with its unique characteristics and applications. The main categories include wood and agricultural residues. Wood and agricultural residues such as crop waste, wood chips and sawdust are the most traditional forms of biomass. These materials are readily available and can be burned directly or converted into various forms of energy, including heat, electricity, and biofuels. Bioenergy crops. Dedicated energy crops like switchgrass, miscanthus are grown specifically for biomass energy production. These crops are highly efficient in converting sunlight and nutrients into energy, providing a sustainable source of biomass for biofuel production. Algae and aquatic biomass. Algae and aquatic plants are rich in organic matter and can be cultivated for biofuel production, particularly biodiesel and biogas. They offer high yields and do not directly compete with the food crops. Food and yard waste. Organic waste including food scraps, yard trimmings and sewage sludge can be converted into biogas through anaerobic digestion. This process not only produces energy but also helps in waste management and reduces methane emissions from landfills. Municipal solid waste. Municipal solid waste containing organic components like paper, cardboard and food waste can be used as biomass for energy generation through incineration or conversion to biogas. Advantages of biomass. Renewable and sustainable. Biomass is a renewable resource as the organic materials used for its production can be replenished through proper management and cultivation. When managed sustainably, biomass offers a continuous and reliable source of energy and also reduce greenhouse gas emissions because of biomass. Biomass is considered a carbon neutral energy source because the carbon dioxide released during its burning combustion is offset by the carbon dioxide absorbed during the growth of the organic material. Then waste management and pollution reduction. Utilizing organic waste for biomass energy production helps in reducing waste and minimizing the environmental impact of landfills. Additionally, biomass combustion emits fewer pollutants compared to fossil fuels. Energy security and diversification. Biomass reduces dependence on fossil fuels, diversifying the energy portfolio and enhancing energy security by providing a reliable domestic energy source. Employment and rural development. Biomass production can stimulate economic growth and create job opportunities, particularly in rural areas where biomass crops are cultivated and processed. What is biomass? Primarily composed of organic matter. Biomass is primarily made of organic materials like plants, wood, and organic waste, which can be used as an energy source. What is the most common biomass source for energy production? That is timber. Timber is the most commonly used biomass for energy due to its abundance and renewable nature. What process converts biomass into liquid fuels? That is gasification. Gasification converts a solid biomass into gas by heating it to high temperatures in the presence of limited oxygen. What is the primary advantage of biomass energy? That is reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Biomass helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions compared to fossil fuels as it is considered carbon neutral. What is biomass? Organic material derived from living organisms. Some questions we are discussing. Biomass refers to organic materials that can be converted into energy. Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is an important yet debated source of power globally, both positive and negative effects. It involves using atomic nuclei to produce heat and electricity. This process, known as a nuclear fission, releases vast amounts of energy and can sustainably power large areas. However, concerns over safety, waste management, and nuclear proliferation make nuclear energy a contentious issue. Natural resources in nuclear energy: uranium and thorium. Uranium, a radioactive metal, is the primary fuel for nuclear energy production. The two main isotopes of uranium, U-235 and U-238, are critical, with the U-235 being the most commonly used in nuclear reactors. Thorium, another possible fuel, can be converted into fissile U-233 through neutron capture, offering an alternative fuel source with potentially less nuclear waste. Then plutonium. Plutonium-239 is an artificial element produced in reactors. It can be used as fuel for reactors and nuclear weapons. The protection of plutonium raises issues regarding nuclear weapons proliferation. Which element is primarily used as fuel in nuclear reactors? That is uranium. Uranium is the primary fuel used in nuclear reactors undergoing fission reactions to produce energy. Which isotope of uranium is mainly used in nuclear fission? That is U-235. Uranium U-235 is the fissile isotope that undergoes fission in reactors to produce energy. Which process is responsible for energy release in nuclear reactor? That is nuclear fission. Nuclear fission, the splitting of an atom's nucleus, releases large amounts of energy. Which of the following is a potential environmental concern with the nuclear energy? That is radioactive waste disposal. Radioactive waste from nuclear reactors is hazardous and difficult to dispose of safely. Which process is used to enrich uranium for nuclear fuel production? That is called centrifugation. Centrifugation increases the concentration of the fissile isotope U-235 in uranium. Which country is the largest producer of nuclear power? That is China. China leads in the construction of new nuclear power plants and nuclear power production. What is nuclear fission? Let us ask some questions. The process of splitting atomic nuclei. Fission is the splitting of an atom's nucleus releasing energy. What is a moderator in nuclear reactor? That is a substance that slows down neutrons. A moderator slows down neutrons to enhance the fission process in reactors. Which radioactive waste poses the biggest disposal challenge? That is high-level waste. High-level waste such as spent fuel rods is highly radioactive and difficult to manage. What is the main advantage of nuclear energy over fossil fuels? Zero greenhouse gas emissions. Nuclear energy produces electricity with minimal greenhouse gas emissions compared to fossil fuels. Which country has the largest number of operational nuclear reactors? That is United States. The United States has the most operational nuclear reactors globally. Forest. Let us talk about some ideas on forest. Nature's reservoirs of life and energy. That is a forest. Forest, often called the lungs of the earth are vital for maintaining ecological balance and sustaining life on the planet. They are expansive ecosystems with a dense vegetation and various organisms. Forests offer ecological, social, economic, and psychological benefits. It plays an ecological role. Forests are essential for ecological stability. They provide habitats for a wide variety of species offering shelter, food, and protection. The biodiversity in forests is extraordinary, supporting many interdependent species. Then climate regulation. It is helpful for climate regulation. Forests contribute significantly to climate regulation by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through photosynthesis, which helps mitigate climate change. They act as carbon sinks, reducing greenhouse gas concentrations. Soil and water conservation. The root systems of trees help prevent the soil erosion and preserve soil fertility. Forests also play a vital role in the water cycle by absorbing rainwater and releasing it gradually, maintaining consistent water levels. What is the economic significance? Beyond ecological benefits, forests provide raw materials such as timber, paper, and medicinal plants, which are crucial for industries. The forestry sector is a major source of livelihood for millions of people, especially in rural areas. In conclusion, forests are nature's life and energy reservoirs essential for ecological balance and biodiversity, climate regulation, and economic development. Let us ask some questions based on this topic. Which type of forest is dominated by trees that shed their lives annually? That is a deciduous forest. It is called a deciduous forest. Deciduous forests found in temperate regions have trees that lose their leaves in the fall to conserve water during the winter. Then, which forestry ecosystem is most threatened by deforestation and logging activities? That is a tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforests are facing rapid deforestation due to logging, agriculture, and other human activities. Which factor contribute to sustainable forest management? That is reforestation. Reforestation involves planting new trees to replace those that were harvested, helping maintain forest sustainability. Forest sustainability. Which organization focuses on international efforts to promote sustainable forest management? That is FAO. That is, FAO works globally to promote sustainable forest management, offering guidance and assistance to countries in need. Now, the last area we are going to discuss is natural hazards and disasters, mitigation strategies. Natural hazards and disasters are events resulting from natural processes of the earth. These events can cause significant damage to human populations, infrastructures, and the environment. Mitigating the impact of natural hazards is crucial for minimizing loss of life, property damage, and disruptions to communities. Understanding natural hazards. Natural hazards are naturally occurring phenomena with the potential to harm people, property, and the environment. Tsunami comes under that. Examples include earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, landslides, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, and droughts. These hazards are influenced by geological, meteorological, hydrological, and climatic factors. What are the mitigation strategies? Mitigation strategies aim to reduce the risk and impact of natural hazards and disasters by enhancing preparedness, reducing vulnerability, and increasing resilience. These strategies include risk assessment, building codes, land use planning, public education, infrastructure improvement, natural resource management, earthly warning systems, climate change mitigation, community resilience, and international cooperation. Which of the following is a primary mitigation strategy for earthquakes? That is, retrofitting vulnerable structures. Retrofitting modifies structures to make them more resistant to earthquakes, reducing potential damage and casualties. What is the key measure in mitigating volcanic eruptions? That is, establishing exclusion zones. Exclusion zones around volcanoes help prevent injuries and fatalities during eruptions. going away from that area. That is the idea here. Which natural hazard is associated with the Saffir-Simpson scale for classifications? That is hurricanes. Saffir-Simpson scale is associated with the hurricanes. The Saffir-Simpson scale classifies hurricanes based on wind speed and potential damage. Which agency in the United States is responsible for monitoring and warning about tsunamis? That is NOAA. NOAA monitors and provides the tsunami warnings in the US. At the national level, it is done. What is the purpose of seismometer in earthquake mitigation? That is to detect and measure seismic activity. Seismometers help detect and measure earthquakes, providing data for research and monitoring. We are coming to the last area, namely Environmental Protection Act, safeguarding the future of the planet. The Environmental Protection Act, that is the EPA, is crucial legislation designed to address the growing concerns related to environmental degradation, pollution, and the preservation of natural resources. It provides a comprehensive framework to regulate human activities that impact the environment, with primary objectives such as promoting sustainable development, safeguarding public health, and conserving the environment for future generations. Global perspective. Environmental protection as a worldwide effort. Environmental protection is a global concern not limited to a specific country. Many nations have enacted their versions of the Environmental Protection Act, which vary in scope and enforcement mechanisms, but share the goal of ensuring sustainable development. International agreements such as the Montreal Protocol and the Paris Agreement aim to tackle global environmental challenges like climate change and ozone depletion. What are the objectives and key provisions? The Environmental Protection Act encompasses several objectives: prevention and control of pollution. It establishes guidelines to regulate pollution in air, water, and soil. Then for conservation of natural resources, promoting sustainable use of resources and biodiversity conservation. Then environmental impact assessment, EIA, mandating EIAs before major projects to assess and mitigate environmental impacts. Public awareness and participation, encouraging community involvement in environmental decisions. Legal framework for enforcement, providing mechanisms for monitoring compliance and penalizing violations. Effectiveness and impact. The Environmental Protection Act has led to improved air and water quality, reduced pollution, and enhanced biodiversity conservation. However, challenges remain in ensuring consistent enforcement, addressing emerging environmental issues, and balancing the needs of developing economies with the environmental priorities. Now let us ask some questions. That is, what is the primary objective of the Environmental Protection Act? That is to ensure sustainable development. The Act focuses on balancing development with the environmental preservation to promote sustainable development. Which governmental body enforces the Environmental Protection Act in many countries? Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. The EPA is a key agency responsible for enforcing environmental protection laws in many countries, including the United States. Which principle is central to the Environmental Protection Act, emphasizing that the polluter should bear the cost of environmental damage? That is, polluter pays principle. This principle ensures that those responsible for pollution are financially accountable for the environmental harm they cause. What is the role of environmental impact assessments in the Environmental Protection Act? That is to assess potential environmental impacts of proposed projects, plans. EIAs help evaluate the environmental consequences of proposed projects, ensuring that the negative impacts are minimized. Which international environmental agreement aims to address climate change? That is Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is a global pact aimed at mitigating climate change by limiting global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius. What international environmental agreement addresses ozone depletion? that is a Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol is aimed at phasing out the use of substances that deplete the ozone layer. So, thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you abundantly. Let us meet in other videos for other units. Now, Unit 9 is over. I hope, I think I have sped away. I have gone with a terrific speed. Of course, general idea is enough. Already I have given enough in other videos. Yes, other videos and even PDF files, everything. Just to, to sensitize your memory, I am giving it in the fast manner. Anyhow, we will do it in a slow down manner in the next videos. Maybe Unit 10 and Unit 6, 5, 4, etc. We will be doing it one by one. Before 24th, we will be able to finish, I hope. Let us meet in other video lectures. Dear friends, kindly, subscribe, like, comment if you want. You are most welcome to give your suggestions also. So it is an ongoing process for me, ongoing education I am giving. So continuously I will be giving a lot of videos, education videos for your sake. So kindly give your suggestions, how I can modify my lectures and all. If you are able to give me some suggestions, it will be very good for me to produce very fruitful videos for you, for your enrichment, academic enrichment in life. Thank you very much, dear friends.